The City of Light, now the city of more efficient light. Just in time for the festive season, Paris's Louvre Museum has replaced its old xenon lighting with new LED technology. The result, energy consumption now 70% less than before. It's not the only project that's reducing the carbon footprint of Christmas. Welcome to this week's show. Coming up, a children's helicopter run on solar energy. How is the multi-billion-dollar toy market responding to demands for more eco-friendly gadgets? Next, we head to Georgia, where families are rediscovering the country's traditional decoration, a Christmas branch rather than cutting down a whole tree. And finally, why an eco-Christmas shouldn't stop at the table. We drop in on a traditional dinner with a green twist in the organic food haven of Germany. Decorations have taken a futuristic turn on Paris's Champs-Élysées this year. Rings of LED light adorn at 200 trees along the avenue. The electricity offset by a solar farm in the south of France. Solar energy also has another purpose this year, powering the eco-toys that are increasingly appearing on store shelves. France 24's Joanna Citruk with this report.
Doing your bit to help save the North Pole? This small cyclist is. He doesn't use batteries but is brought to life by this light. He's one of the many solar-powered toys sold by Bruno Chou.
Solar energy is going to replace batteries, even if we then use rechargeable batteries recharged by the sun's rays.
He hopes his toys like this helicopter will provide a reminder as to how accessible renewable energy is.
This is a small motor. So when we put the helicopter's rotor blades in the light will make them spin.
And they're flying off the shelves. The helicopters cost €18, only a little more than the version powered by batteries. It's not only smaller specialised companies that have adopted this trend, but big chains too.
It's a whole series of teddy bears made with recycled material.
Traditional toys are making a comeback. The collection also includes organic cotton dolls and natural wooden toys.
We are in the wood section. It's a sector that's growing, and wood's now used in all our collections.
So what makes a wooden toy eco-friendly? Trees absorb CO2 from the air, and when they're cut down, they can either be burnt, releasing their CO2 back into the atmosphere, or made into toys, thereby continuing to store the CO2 the tree had absorbed. But the eco-friendly buzzword is bandied about left, right and centre by companies hoping to attract customers, but they don't all live up to their green branding.
An eco-friendly toy is one that takes into account the impact on the environment and the health of your child. You need to see this CE label that means it's certified as such.
At Toys R Us, even the packaging is made from at least 70% recycled material. But not all manufacturers make this extra effort.
There is still a long way to go in terms of packaging. The carbon footprint reduction of making a wooden toy is wasted by packaging it up in plastic.
Ethical products are increasing their market share even in the economic downturn. That means more green presents under the evergreen tree this year.
One of the most iconic symbols of Christmas is, of course, the tree. Here we're looking at particularly eco ones made entirely from plastic bottles. But for those who prefer a real tree, there is an environmentally friendly option. Organisations in the UK have begun to offer a Christmas tree hire scheme. Customers can rent a pruned and potted tree and return it when it's time to take down the tinsel. Every recycled tree saves nearly 1 cubic metre of landfill space.
There's absolutely no need for cutting a tree down at Christmas, and everybody wants to do their bit and be a bit more eco-friendly. Well, this is a way you can do it without putting in any extra effort. In fact, it's less effort. It's delivered to your door, it's picked up after Christmas, and with that you're offsetting 10% of your carbon footprint and creating British woodlands.
There is is yet another solution being favoured in Georgia. Families are rediscovering the traditional decoration of the chichilaki, which requires using a Christmas branch rather than a whole tree. This next report from Frans van Kat's Damien McGuinness.
75-year-old Gizo has been making Georgian-style Christmas trees, known as chichilakis, for more than half a century. This ancient Georgian tradition uses just one branch, which is shaved into a tree shape and decorated, instead of chopping down a whole tree. He made 700 last year, selling them for about $1 each. Gizo says they've become more popular than ever, with Georgians who want to protect the environment.
We use branches which have to be pruned off the trees anyway to make them healthier. That's better than cutting down pine trees, which destroys the forest.
The authorities are now taking action. At the beginning of December, the government announced it would triple the number of patrols in forests to prevent people chopping down pine trees for Christmas. And anyone caught will now be fined up to $1,200, 4 times the average monthly salary.
This forest protects nearby farms from wind, and it also prevents landslides, which is actually why we planted the forest in the first place.
Earlier this year, a landslide here cut off access to an entire region. It was caused by deforestation. Environmentalists say Christmas doesn't help, but the main problem is that commercial logging is barely regulated.
It is a huge threat for Georgian forests, and if these trends will be rise, we can lose half of Georgian forests in very short period.
So more Georgian families are opting for the chichilaki. 20 years after breaking away from the Soviet Union, Georgia is rediscovering its traditions, but also because it's better for the environment.
For me and my family, cutting down a pine tree for Christmas would be a tragedy. If everyone used a chichilaki or an artificial Christmas tree, it would be much better.
Gizo says he has noticed a major increase over the last few years in orders for the chichilaki. So it seems that by going back to its roots, Georgia is not only helping the environment, but also supporting local craftsmen.
Even the Christmas markets in Paris have a special exposition dedicated entirely to the environment. We're going to take a look. Inside, a colourful display of some of the most endangered animals in the world. There's the polar bear, the penguin, and even the reindeer. It's a way to mix ecology with the spirit of Christmas. The same can be done for the traditional feast. This next report from Germany on how to be environmentally friendly with the Christmas plate. Frans van Kat's Anne Meyer reports.
How to make the perfect organic Christmas dinner. First, you need the right ingredients, 100% organic, of course. Kati is doing this for the first time. Tonight, she's planning a pre-Christmas dinner. And why all the trouble? Because of the taste.
It will really be a completely different culinary experience because organic produce is really very different. It has more taste than normal ingredients.
And it also means you're doing something for the environment. It's all about going for local produce that's in season now. Potatoes and red cabbage, for example, which is just right, seeing as they're both a must on any German Christmas table.
The organic industry tries to reduce the amount of packaging and to focus on regional produce and reduce transport distances.
Last into the trolley, the absolute highlight, free-range goose thighs. All in all, this costs about 30 to 50% more than if you bought it in a regular supermarket. It's the price you have to pay to reduce your carbon footprint. Later, Kati starts preparing the meal. She's not leaving anything to chance. She has a chef here to help out, an expert in organic food. The whole family is here, and their son has invited some friends round. Lesson 1, if it's organic, eat it whole.
You just have to give the vegetables a wash, but with a standard potato or carrot, you would have to peel it. You never know what's lurking beneath. Organic food should become the norm.
No need to coerce the kids. Given the choice between organic or non-organic, they don't hesitate, especially when it comes to the meat.
Organic meat is better because normal meat comes from animals that have been badly treated.
And the goose cooking in the oven is the ultimate proof.
You can see that they're free range, they've developed good muscles. The meat has a good colour, and it just looks healthy.
After 2 hours in the kitchen, Christmas dinner is served. Goose, red cabbage and potatoes. The young cooks are more than satisfied with the result.
The meat is good. You can really taste the difference, and the red cabbage. That's really good.
Not just the taste buds are happy, so is the environment. A merry, sustainable Christmas all round.
That brings us to the end of this week's Environment Show. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining us for all of the shows this year. I look forward to seeing you, as always, next time.